Hello everyone and welcome to the Arthritis Action Podcast. I'm Marc, as always your host, and today I'm joined by Charlotte Davis. Charlotte is a hairstylist and salon owner and recently-ish has had a hip replacement due to her arthritis. Hello Charlotte.
Hello.
Right, so could you start by telling us, because my intros are always really brief, so if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself and your experience with arthritis.
So I was born without a full hip socket. So the tiny little stump of a socket that I had obviously got worn out really quickly. Hip replacements do not typically last that long. So I had to wait until I was riddled with arthritis and the socket was completely unusable. And then I had a full replacement.
Sorry, if you don't mind, what age did that happen as well? Because it was a lot younger than you'd expect something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was 39 when I had my replacement.
Wow.
And I was born with my, obviously, deformity. So I had 39 years of it before I could do anything about it. And then evidently I'll have it done again, probably in about 20 years' time.
Oh, and considering your job, I've always thought this, having known you for quite a while, that it's ridiculous almost how you manage to do your job with that condition.
I think that the job helps. I think being up and moving was always better than being still and sat.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So although people go, oh, I don't know how you stand up all day. It didn't hurt all day. It hurt when I went home and sat down in the evening. That was the worst pain. In the daytime when I was moving around, I very rarely was in discomfort. It's always when I was still.
Wow. Well, that does make a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
I suppose. Cool. Well, so you are definitely the right person to join me today to talk about this. So today's topic is kind of all about, the way that people kind of like look and feel when they have arthritis as well. So, I mean, having a condition like arthritis can like really change your ability to look after yourself, and it can change the way you feel about yourself as well. So like sometimes it'll have a knock-on effect on how you look or how you feel, like either some things out of your control, like if your fingers have become a bit distended or misshapen because of osteoarthritis or something, that can be an issue, of course. But I don't know. I think you'll be better known to say this than me.
Yeah, the medications as well have massive impacts on skin and hair and nails and weight, and that makes you feel rubbish. And then when you feel rubbish, you're less inclined to do things to look after yourself because you can't see the point. And then you get into a bit of a cycle, I think, of all of those things. Like you don't have the energy. It hurts perhaps to hold your arms up and blow dry your hair, and your hair feels brittle and dry and frizzy because you're on loads of drugs. And so what's the point in trying? And it can get really, you can get yourself into a really negative pattern and then just stop caring and stop making the effort. And I think ultimately when you stop making an effort, you do feel worse.
You kind of lose a bit of yourself, I think,
absolutely.
when things like that happen.
And you get like, you don't want to go places. Like I wouldn't want to make the effort to get ready and go out, knowing that in an hour's time I'd be in so much pain I'd want to come home anyway. So you then get to that point where you just lose interest. And I think once you start to feel like that and you start to not bother, that's a slippery slope. It can really then impact onto all other things.
Absolutely. I mean, so from, I guess we'll start a bit more now going from your experience, like given like what you do for a living, like working in a salon. So it's got to have an effect, as you said, just of people even getting to you in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. So not everyone can, like for example, I took amitriptyline at night, so I couldn't drive in the morning because I'd be really drowsy until mid-morning. So I had to start work later. So you got the same for clients coming in for a 9 a.m. appointment. That is not feasible. If it takes you 2 hours to get up and out of bed, you're not being anywhere at 9 a.m. So you can perhaps only make an afternoon appointment. You might not be able to drive, so someone will have to bring you. Like my salon we're at now, we have 2 sets of steps to get up. Ooh. Not everyone can get up steps. I couldn't have got up those steps before.
How do you get around that then? Because I know you've got several clients with arthritis, haven't you?
Yeah. So I go down and help them ordinarily, and always do it on days when the salon is quiet. I find that lots of people that are having health struggles, and that always does lead to mental health struggles, I think the two together, don't want to come into a packed salon, don't want to come in somewhere where it's really busy. And there's lots of people, it's quite intimidating when you're already feeling a bit low. So book them in on quiet days when there's no one watching them trundle up the stairs, like there's just you and them. Little things like that can be the difference between someone coming to an appointment or not coming.
Do you think this is something a lot of other hairdressers or stylists do?
Yeah, I mean, it's now like quite a common thing that when you book an appointment, you can book like a silent appointment. So you can request it at the booking so that for people that aren't very chatty. For example, I've got a lady who's autistic. She hates to have her consultations through the mirror. She finds it really intimidating. It makes her uncomfortable. So when she books her appointment, she always puts a note on saying, please don't do my consultation in the mirror. Lots of people do things like that now. So they'll say, oh, I don't want to come in when it's busy, or I don't want to chat too much, don't talk to me too much. And they add it as a note, and loads of salons offer that now.
Because I didn't know a lot of this, obviously, as, a man who hasn't had hair in about 20 years.
Follically challenged.
Yeah, follically challenged. That's the nice way of putting it. So I haven't clearly been in one of these places for a very, very long time. So I didn't know that, things like record keeping and stuff like that were a thing that was even done.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got lots of clients who I think most salons do it, most stylists, all the people I know do. You make your own little notes on that person. So you remember, if they came in, and stupid things, if they came in and their dog was really poorly last time they come, I would make a note so the next time they come, I remember.
So you're like breaking the wall here. I thought that they just had great memories, but
no. Well, I mean, some people do, but not me. I write notes because I do not remember these things at all. But if you know that someone, like medication, if you know you've got a client who takes medication and it makes her scalp really sensitive, that's the information I need to know and remember. And if she comes in, and it's also on my client to tell me when they come in, oh, my medication has changed. Because that means a fresh patch test if you have your hair coloured, because your sensitivity will be different. Or I might not use a certain shampoo if I know that your hair is going to be a particular way because of medication. I always say to my clients, because I'll know the second I touch your hair if your medication has been different.
I remember you saying this to me at one point, how you can actually feel it through the hair.
You can feel the difference, yeah, at what point they've done different medicine based on how it feels through the length of the hair. So it is so important to tell your stylist things like that, because it will impact what we use, how things react. And you don't want to spend hours in the hair salon and it doesn't come out how you expected because of a pill changed.
Of course. From your experience, do lots of different types of arthritis have different effects on hair, or is it mostly medication?
It's mostly medication. And I think some of it is down as well to sort of the stress can cause hair loss, and just general, you're not being well, not eating as well as you should, or drinking enough water, or getting outside and exercising. Those things, your hair and nails, are the last places to be given any nutrients. So when your body is fighting anything, they're the first places to lose it, and it goes to other places. So we always know in your hair if something's going on. All hairdressers know. It's like a gift.
And so the same for nails as well?
Yeah,
then, is it?
Absolutely.
So again, is that just more do things like condition like psoriatic arthritis that has a real effect on the skin, will that then translate into nails? Or
absolutely. It would affect the growth, the strength. Lots of people get their nails split or peel, and they can become really brittle, or some people's become really soft.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So again, this is all stuff you would keep in your notes for...
Yes, this is why I have to keep notes, because I would not remember all of these
things. Of course not.
I've got about 200 clients. I remember their names and their kids' names and their pets' names, but any sort of deeper detail, I make a note.
So it's really important that whoever goes to a hairdresser or a stylist or a nail salon tells them about all that stuff?
Yeah, if they've got a long-term health condition, or if they're on long-term medication, it's really important to mention those things. And also it would give the stylist, I will always be more lenient to clients that cancel last minute or don't turn up if I know they have a long-standing health condition, because sometimes it is out of the realms of your control to get to an appointment. You might just not be able to physically get up and do it that day, and you shouldn't be punished for that. Some people, I have a cancellation fee. If you don't turn up, you get charged.
Yeah, of course.
But if that's a client that I know, and I know that they have a medical condition, and I know that there's probably a really valid reason they didn't come to that appointment, I'm not going to charge them. But I have to know that information first.
Yeah, of course. Yes, if they're having a flare-up that day, you understand what that
absolutely
means.
I completely get it. There are some days when I could not get out of bed and walk. I couldn't even get out of bed and put my trousers on, never mind go anywhere. So it's important to mention it, because I think 90% of stylists will be I completely understand. We'll make a note of it, and if you're ever not here, I will get it. Excellent.
That's great advice then. So what about the skin as well? We've covered hair and nails as well. Obviously, medication, of course, is going to have a big impact on skin, as well things like psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis.
I used to get really it would always you can feel your skin when I took painkillers. I'm really sensitive to painkillers. I tried really hard not to take too many, but it made me feel my skin, and it's horrible. It's a horrible sensation, and that can make it really difficult then, because why would you want to go when you're feeling like that and have someone touch you? Don't touch my head, it's on fire.
Yeah, so how do you deal with that then? Like, what would you have to do differently for someone who has is on a medication where it affects how their skin feels? Can they still go to a hairdresser?
Absolutely, have a conversation. So I would, when you book your appointment, you there's always, or most places have an option to book a consultation on top of your hair appointment. So I would book your appointment and then book the consultation on top of that. Okay. That allows an extra 15 minutes probably on your appointment time when you can have a proper discussion that doesn't impact your hair appointment. It's on top of. But you can have a proper discussion and say, look, I really want to get my hair cut and coloured. I'm very sensitive. I don't like the water too hot. You can't pull it with the comb. It gives you a chance to say all of those things. And then for the stylist to say, well, perhaps it's not feasible that we can colour your hair because I think you'll be too sensitive. But I can absolutely cut it and bear all of those things in mind. And they'll be more sensitive. So always allow, especially if it's someone new, allow yourself a consultation on top of your appointment. And if they phone and say, oh, you don't need that. So actually, I've not been very well, so I would like a chance to discuss it with you. Most people will appreciate it, and then your appointment isn't rushed. They're not going to run late, and they're not going to feel rushed, and you get the best service.
I hadn't thought about the sensitivity issue because, obviously, sometimes different areas of you will be just even painful just to touch.
Just too, lots of people that get arthritis in their neck aren't able to lay back in a basin, so they might wash their hair leaning forwards, or they'll come in with their hair already washed. So things like that as well. You need to have that information. So don't be afraid to say when you book your appointment, can I have some extra time because I want to discuss some things first. Every stylist would much prefer have an extended time to talk to you than to not have that time and rush you. I would hate to feel like I was rushing someone.
God, if only stylists were, on the NHS, because I think we'd love GP appointments to be like this.
Oh, to be able to say, this is going to be a slightly longer appointment needed today because I've got some extra things I want to discuss. Yeah, cool, I'll add that on.
Oh, that's the dream, isn't it?
It's the dream. To even get a doctor's appointment, is it? It's easier to get a hairdresser's appointment than a doctor's appointment.
Because you mentioned, people's ability to, wash their hairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what gadgets and stuff people can use? Because I know having some people that I know have they struggle to hold their hands up long enough just to even do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So I do have a few ladies who just come in every week and get their hair washed and blow dried. Okay. So they don't ever do it themselves. I'm one of them. I never wash my own hair.
Really?
Can't be bothered. Haven't got the time. Makes my arms ache. I don't have to. Why would I? But I have quite a few clients that do that because like you say, holding your arms up I needed a new hip, but I did not have the energy to hold my arms up. So I was exhausted from just managing that.
Yeah.
So I had no inclination to sit there and blow dry my hair.
That's a good point, yeah, because even if you do have it in a completely separate area of the body, it's exhausting on your whole body. Yeah, your
whole body is tired all the time. And no one wants to spend half an hour drying their hair. So I would say there's no quick fix. You've got to wash your hair and it has to be done, and if you can't afford to go and get it done at the salon, not everybody can, but I would say that bear that in mind when you choose your haircut. When you have that conversation with your stylist, say, I need something that's really low maintenance, really easy to manage. I'm not able to hold my hands up and style my hair. I'm not able to wash it every day, so I need something that will look good on the second and the third and the fourth day. These are all things that you need, so explain that to them and find a haircut that fits it, because a good haircut done the right way, you won't have to wash it every day and you won't have to style it every day, and your life will be a little bit easier.
Wow. These are things I've obviously never considered.
No,
this is a very awakening podcast episode for me.
I think lots of people don't realise how much goes into doing people's hair. You're never just a hairdresser.
No, I mean, it goes with the whole kind of I don't know, for lack of a better term, I guess beauty routine.
Yeah.
Because as we were talking about, how important it can be to feel good, it's not just your haircut. There's always then all these other things that go into it as well.
Everything goes along, and it does make a difference. If you look good, you feel good.
Absolutely.
100%. You should take the time, if you can, to factor in a little treat to make yourself feel better. Not everyone can afford to go and get their hair cut every 4 or 5 weeks, but even if you can only afford to do it every 2 months, do it.
Yeah.
Because it is good for you. It's good for your soul to go and get your hair done.
Oh, definitely.
And have that chatter, and it's just mindless chatter, and it doesn't have to be anything heavy, or you can not talk at all. You can just sit there quietly and have someone do it for you.
It's like a practical indulgence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually, there's a genuine,
absolutely
real reason for it that it's good, but it's also I think it's my brother, he also is a follically challenged man.
Yes.
But he will go to a hairdresser to have his head shaved or trimmed down because he just loves the whole process of it.
Because he wants the whole event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a cheapskate. I just, as soon as it started going, I bought a razor and I was done.
You were done.
What sort of other gadgets? Because I know like, there's this one. The one that I heard was mentioned from someone who comes to one of our groups. Who she obviously struggles to have her arms up, so has like a hairdryer stand and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get like a hood dryer that sort of you put it on your head and it dries around. And also loads of hair dryers now, like I know obviously Dyson are extortionate, but there are lots of other cheaper, more affordable available options, which are really lightweight. Or even buying a professional hair dryer, because as are slightly different, they're much lighter.
Are they?
Because we're holding them all day long.
Oh.
So they're much lighter. So there'd be slightly more of an investment. But if you really struggle, then
it's worth it.
It's worth that investment.
Worth it, yeah.
So if looking into things like a lightweight hairdryer absolutely will make a difference. And even like if you can't get to the salon, if you've got a friend or a relative and say like, can you just come and dry my hair off for me? I just don't have, like, ask.
Yeah.
Ask people to do it. I used to make my daughter do mine for me all the time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If it's too much for you to dry your hair, ask someone to do it for you. Like, there's no shame in asking for someone to help you when you cannot do things yourself.
It's a really important thing with arthritis in general. It doesn't even, not even just about hair.
No, everything. Some things are just too much and you should just ask.
Also, you can have like a finite amount of energy or that your like your joints or your limbs will have in that as well. Like, why waste it on something really boring
that you don't want to do?
No, if someone else could like, oh, can you just like open this bottle cap for me, rather than using every last ounce of your hand strength. Keep that strength for doing something nice,
fun,
and enjoyable.
And enjoyable, absolutely. So yeah, ask. Like, I can't imagine like there wouldn't be one single person, like friend or mum or sister or auntie or someone, even you might be friendly with your next door neighbour, being like, can you just, I've washed it, but I haven't got capacity to sit there and dry my hair. Can you just blast it with a hairdryer? I'm sure someone would happily do that and save you the job.
There's also things like drying turbans and stuff like that. The
only
reason
you
I know
can
that's
get like the
my wife has
microfiber
one.
towels and you wrap your hair up in them and they're really good. You can get them like on Amazon, do them in like a multi-pack, because my kids love putting them on their heads just because they like the feel of them. They're really soft and they feel nice and sensory, but they are designed for frizz-free smooth hair. So you can wrap your hair up in that, let it dry, take it down, and you should have fairly smooth hair.
Yeah. A lot of this is female-centered because I think mostly women will go to things like this. So men will also have an issue when it comes to arthritis
and for men as well, they've got to have a shave or a beard and their heads, and it's a whole other vibe then. And men don't, I think, still don't talk about it or say or don't want to be seen to be vain.
Oh, like, I'm very vain, but I'll admit that.
I think lots of men would be like, oh, I'm not bothered about my hair, but they are.
We all are.
Of course they are. Everyone's bothered.
Yeah.
So they perhaps are a bit more, I think they would be less inclined to ask someone to come and do their hair for them than a girl would.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that.
But we all need help, whichever way, shape or form it comes.
Yeah, definitely. Especially shaving's a really good point as well, because I mean,
like skin sensitivity, I can imagine putting a razor on your face when your skin is perhaps sore and it's sometimes burning or tingly. Like, I can't think of anything worse. As a girl, if I don't want to shave my legs, it doesn't matter. But as a man, if you've got a job, perhaps it means you have to be smart and presented. You don't always have an option of like, my face hurts today and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I guess that's probably one of the times, like, if you can grow a beard, maybe like
just not necessarily let it relax a little bit.
Not necessarily a big beard, but like if you get like a beard trimmer, something like
that.
Keep
it neat and tidy, but without that commitment of a shave.
Or just do what I did and just grow a big beard.
Just do a full beard.
Yeah. Although you still have to do stuff to
they're not as easy as people think. Like, you got to oil them and then comb them, and it's a lot of work. I speak from experience, obviously.
Well, so at least I can speak from experience in this one. Absolutely, you do have to comb it. I comb mine every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't, it gets matted.
Yeah, so it is another thing that you have to take care of.
Especially if you've got problems like with your hands or anything like that, there obviously are different ways to do it. Like, again, you can get like a comb with a handle and things like that. If like a comb is too fiddly or something like that.
Exactly. The same with with hairbrushes. Yeah. You can just presume beard brushes work in the same way. You can get them with big handles that are easier to hold. They don't require like a tiny grip, because you can't always do a tiny grip if your hands are really sore or your fingers are swollen. You need something bigger to hold on to.
And actually, like a hairbrush is a lot better for beards if you have any sensitivity, because it will tug.
It's not going
to
pull as hard as a comb. Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
something to bear in mind as well. If you are worried about that, get yourself a nice.
And there's so many brilliant like wet to dry brushes or tangle teasers, which that's what I used to have.
That's what it's called, a tangle teaser.
That's it. That will work just as well on a beard as they do on your head.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
But be much softer and gentler, which is what you want really. If you feel like your face is already on fire, you do not want to then start pulling and tugging at it with a comb.
Absolutely. What about like sort of hairstyles for men as well? Because obviously there's a bit more sort of like smaller sculpting, so I guess it's a bit more like fine work than a larger like set.
And as well, men need their hair cut more often.
Yes, that's
generally.
A good point, yeah.
So for men, it's a bit more of a commitment. Like women can probably go a couple of months without getting their hair done, but for a man, you're looking at like every 4 or 5 weeks, which is a big commitment if you're struggling already to go. So even maybe not go to us. See if there's someone that can come to your house and do it. If getting out and doing it is a struggle, there's always an option of having someone come to the house, especially if you're not enjoying the whole atmosphere of a salon and it feels a bit overwhelming. That's the same for men or women. Get it done absolutely. At home. But if I'm thinking for men specifically who need it done that much more often, and the thought of going to the salon every 4 weeks might just seem inconceivable. Like
even 4 weeks, I know some guys who get their haircut every couple of weeks.
Yeah,
just like
I've got friends that go every 2 weeks.
I mean, actually, if I went as I did probably do, depending on how much I see people. If I see people less, then I shave my head less.
Yeah.
But I'd have to do it 2 or 3 times a week, and imagine if I actually went to a salon every time for that.
Exactly. So you've got men who have their hair cut very short and they're going every 2 weeks for a haircut. That is not always something that you're in a position to do if you're struggling with your health. You don't want to have to do that every 2 weeks.
And the price of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So generally people that come to your house don't charge such a big price because they're in your home. So you could perhaps tally that up to make it more affordable, and you could get it done more often, and it's not having such a big impact on your time.
Definitely. And for those other follically challenged men out there as well, there are an array these days. It's so much easier of like, you don't have to use any kind of blade. There's skull shaving type
these
things.
Like the round ones that you just like zoom all over your head.
Yeah, there's some with like a big handle as well, so if grip's an issue, that's really good. There's so many different types available
I think
now.
There's loads more now, and men's grooming is much bigger now than it ever has been.
Oh, it exists now. It used to just be razors.
Yeah, this is it. And now there's so much, so it does make it easier to manage. Like if you can't get to the hairdressers, you can manage it. There's loads of styling tools and products and things. There's definitely much more scope for it. But yeah, just you have to find what works. And if you know that you realistically can't get there that often, find an alternative that fits better for you.
It's the same as all the other aspects of arthritis we're always talking about. Again, it's just finding what works for you and how are you going to manage this with your condition.
Exactly. If your condition means that going out for every 2 weeks and getting to a salon is overwhelming, don't do it.
Yeah.
Find a better way.
Because the mental side of it really does matter as well.
It's draining.
Yeah.
It is draining. Sometimes just seeing people when you're in constant pain and it's just always, even if it's not a lot, like even if it's like just a 4, but it's at a 4 all the time, just holding a conversation with people is hard work.
Yeah.
Never mind doing anything else, like getting dressed. Sometimes that is just not feasible. And that's even if your pain's just on a low level. If you're having a day where it's excruciating, then you're done. There's no way you're going out and talking to people and getting... I couldn't even get myself dressed in that situation. I'd be needing someone to dress me. So then things like, does my hair look okay today? That doesn't matter on those days, and it's fine.
Of course, yeah. I mean, look, the stress as well that comes with all of that. I mean, I remember you telling me before, because we've spoke about this in the past, is that it can then have a tangible effect on your hair and skin and all of that as well.
Yeah, because once you start getting stressed, I mean, I in particular suffer really badly with hair loss when I'm stressed. I have some stunning bald patches going on at the moment. Absolutely, next level. And the fact that they're there stresses me out. So then I'm making it worse because I'm so stressed that my hair is falling out, but my hair is falling out because I'm stressed. And it's horrendous. And it's the same, you're like so stressed because you think, oh my God, my nails are horrible and they feel awful. And then you start picking at them because you know they're horrible. And then you worry that you're picking at them. And then you pick at them more because you're thinking about it. And it just spirals. And like definitely stress is like, it has a horrible impact on your body. The worst. I think it's worse than anything. It hits me harder than anything else being stressed. And you're stressed on top of an already failing body is the last thing you need when it's already letting you down.
How have you managed to combat that then?
I haven't. I'm still learning. I've learned.
I was hoping you had some magical answer for us all.
What I have learned is that it's okay to say, no, I cannot do today. I cannot do today. I need to go home. I need to not work. I need to not see people. Not people. That's what I always say. I always go, I just can't people today. Because my job is obviously very people heavy.
Yeah.
And people come in and they want me to be smiley and happy and chat to them because I am their relief.
Yeah.
They've come there for a relief. So if I can't be that, it's okay to not go to work because I'm not providing what they came for. And I think it's really important to not feel guilty, to prioritise yourself and say, today I am too stressed, I cannot do that.
Absolutely.
That's took me my entire life to reach that point of being able to do that. And I still feel really bad when I have to do it. But you do have to do it because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Very well said.
Just, it's ridiculous. And I think that's really important. Just learn to say sometimes, just no, I can't. My stress levels are up here and I can't take on board anyone else's. So I'm going to back away for a minute.
I agree. I mean, yeah, just go off, do something for yourself.
Yeah.
Even if, obviously, I think in this situation we're talking about are things like something they may do is go and see someone like you. Unless you're having that day, of course. But
that's it. But for that is a relief for them. And you should do it and treat yourself and feel good about it. But you want that person you're going to see to be nice and happy and cheery.
Yeah,
you don't want to go in there and I'm like that, frazzled.
Just hope you
my
both
hair
don't,
looking like it's wild.
Just hope you both don't have the same day at the same time.
Yeah, because that would be horrific. And it might not pan out all that well for your haircut.
No, actually, but it also have like stress can, as you say, like makes your hair like thinner.
Yeah, absolutely. Hair loss is massive for people that's just particularly in women and when women sort of going into the menopause.
Yes.
You're going into menopause, your body is already inflamed from arthritis and then you get stressed. Your hair is already going thin because you're in menopause. It's all brittle because you're taking a ton of medication. And then you're stressed, which is amplifying everything else. So your hair is just going to feel horrible.
So what can people do about that then?
Self-care is so important. Take a rest when you need a rest. Talk to your doctor as well and say, look, this medication is making my hair fall out and my hair is really important to me. Like lots of people, I hear it loads and loads. Oh, it's just hair. I cannot think of a single person that would say it's just hair when they lost their hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just hair when you have a head full of hair. It's not just hair when your hair's falling out and you're stressed and you're unwell. So not all medications have that impact. There are different ones and it's okay for that to be a priority. Like, yeah, you don't want to be in pain and you don't want to be suffering, but you can also say, I don't want to be bald.
Yeah. like
that is valid. And lots of people don't want to say it because they feel like it's trivial.
Yeah, I think it's not at all.
It's just hair. I don't want to moan about it. No moan about it.
But like as we've already mentioned, like it's part of your identity because like when you see yourself in the mirror, if you just go to a bathroom or if you walk past a window that's a bit reflective,
and if you're already not really recognising yourself because your face is bloated from medication or you've lost weight or gained weight, you don't then want to look and see your hair looking crap and falling out. You don't want that. So like prioritise it. It is not just hair.
It does matter.
It matters so much. Like it's almost like, oh well, it's only hair. No, it is not only hair. It's something that can make you feel better. Everyone knows if you're having a good hair day, you're having a great day. Like that is a fact of life. Ask anyone, oh, your hair looks nice. They'll be like, oh my God, thank you.
I have heard this before.
It's the best thing. Like good hair day, good day.
I will take your word for it.
So yeah, I mean, good beard day. You're having a good beard day. You're having a good day.
Yeah.
So I do but I think people never want to bring that up as a query with medication. They don't want to say because they feel like it's not really important, and the doctor might be like, "Well, is that all you care about?" Well, no, it's not all I care about, but it is important to me.
It's part of it, yeah.
And it's allowed to be important to me.
It's part of your body, and that's another thing that's reacting.
And it's something that's really obvious. If you see someone who's losing their hair or lost their hair or their hair's looking really bad, you automatically think, "Oh, they're not well."
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a giveaway every time.
A friend of mine's was he was going through a really, really stressful period and like was getting large bald spots in his hair, and he already had short hair, so there's no hiding it whatsoever.
To put it, exactly.
And I remember like when I saw him like a little while later and like all his hair had grown back and he'd gained a bit of weight again, I thought, mate, you look so good.
Yeah.
And like you could just tell he was instantly healthier.
You can see it. Like and lots of people say, especially people that lose their hair in chemo and stuff, they always say that was the hardest bit because that's when everyone knew they were ill.
Yeah.
Because they lost their hair. And like lots of the medication for arthritis really does mess your hair up. It's really like, you can feel it. It feels horrible. My hair just used to feel horrible. I hated it. I couldn't do anything with it. It was such hard work. And I'm a hairdresser. It's my job to fix that.
Yeah, if you
and
could
I
do it,
found
yeah.
it hard. Like, and so it's, it is not just hair. And it's something that's a very obvious thing to other people that you're struggling. And you don't always want everyone else to know that.
That's a big part of it, I think, isn't it? You like to be, at least one of the good things about arthritis, but at least people can't see
it's
it,
a hidden disease.
That can be nice for people sometimes. They don't want to.
It gives you a bit of anonymity. People not saying all the time, "Oh, how are you feeling?" Because you don't always want to talk about it.
Yeah.
People don't always want to hear your answer either. They don't want you to tell them how miserable you are.
No.
They want you to go, "Yeah, I'm fine."
That's the very British thing. Oh, you're all right. Go,
Yep,
please
I'm
don't
great.
tell me.
Yeah, don't tell me what's wrong with you. I'm only being polite.
Oh no, they're
But
telling
when
me how they are.
Yeah, when your hair or your skin or your nails are a mess, that is such an obvious sign to other people that you're not well. And I think lots of people don't want that obvious sign out there. So say to your doctor, "I don't like it like this. Is there something else I can try?" Or speak to your stylist, because they might be able to offer product. There's products that help stimulate hair growth, that help soften your hair if it's gone quite brittle. There's so many products that can at least help with those things, if not reverse them. So if your doctor can't help, your hairdresser might, or a trichologist, like go and see someone who specialises in the scalp. They'll be able to help you. But
there
don't
are other
think,
specialists and things like that to go to, aren't there?
Don't think to yourself, "Oh, well, I just, if I don't want to be in pain, I just have to accept that my hair's going to fall out." No, you don't. Don't settle. Because if you're going to be on this medication for a long time, which most of us are, then that's a long time to be miserable about how you are. So don't do it. Ask, go around. If one person can't help you, find someone else. There's lots of us.
There's always second opinions or something. Not enough people, I think, ask.
They don't want to ask. They just take it like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's it. I can't ask anymore. I tell so many people, let's go back and ask
for someone different.
Yeah,
or say to them, "If you can't help me, recommend me to someone."
Yeah. People always worry, like, they put me on the notes that I'm, like, difficult or something. Who cares?
Who cares if you're difficult?
You think you're the only difficult person they've ever met? They're a doctor. Come on now.
I thrive off being difficult.
I know. I've known you long enough to know that. So I suppose what advice would you give then? Just if you were to give a short bit of advice to someone with arthritis who wants to still look and feel their best.
I would say most importantly, to when you book your appointment, be really open and honest about what you can physically manage in a haircut or a hairstyle or a nail appointment or whatever you're going to. Be really honest with the person providing it and tell them these are my limitations. Be honest about medication. Give all the information, because then you'll get something that is tailored to you. And if it's tailored to you, you'll find it so much easier to maintain and look nice and feel nice. And don't be afraid to say to your doctor, "I don't want these drugs. They're not making my hair nice, my skin nice, this nice. Can we find an alternative?" Ask.
Yeah.
Ask the question. Ask it of your stylist. Ask it of your doctor. Ask it of your nail tech. Ask them. Because someone out of all of those people will be like, "Yeah, we can do this." It might not even be the person you expect, but one of them will have an answer. And I think if you can do that, if you can just voice it, you'll get much further. It's when you don't talk about it and you don't say anything, and then they give you some mental haircut and you go home and you're never going to do it because you can't hold your hands up for 2 hours and blow dry it. If you just were honest and had the conversation and spoke it all out, let it out, tell them everything.
Excellent.
Then enjoy having lovely hair that you can manage.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Charlotte. That's been awesome.
You're welcome.
And thank you everyone for listening. So if you'd like any more information on some of the stuff that we've talked about, please do visit our website. There's a link for that in the episode description below. And also do feel free to give us a positive rating on whichever platform it is you're listening to, and to like and subscribe as well so you don't miss any future episodes. So thank you very much, Charlotte, again.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for listening. Cheers. Bye-bye.